Welcome back. This is DragonTank 1400 here, and this is DragonTank plays modded Minecraft. So we're back at the spaceship fragment parts location where our automation is gonna go. We are doing I'm trying to get the food automation going, as I explained in the previous episode. Anyway, so the cows, this is the cow and this is the pig. They're pretty much finished except for the automatic food source, which we will be getting to actually next episode. But for now, I'll just show you what I completed. Yeah, a lot of hold on. Let's see, friendly creatures 0. Okay, so gave him nice trees and grass. I've breeding him up for a while. Right now nothing's in the automatic breeder. What I'm thinking actually, instead of piping it in, thinking at like about this level to have a wheat farm and just have that harvested here, because I kind of don't want to separate. I kind of don't want to have to separate the wheat farm into 2 different parts or multiple different parts. I'm going to have to do that anyway. So I might as well just have this just for the cows, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the pigs. I just got to get a automatic farm going. Back up. You don't want to go in there. This is death. Well, not yet. I actually gotta get a power set up too. Okay. So that's the cow farm. And the pig farm looks extremely similar. The only real difference, well, one there's not really a whole lot of pigs. Meanwhile, let's turn out friendly creatures back to 100. And I got this maple tree. I don't know why it says Tiger Lee is maple. Anyway, so it looks the same. Got the autonomous activator. I showed the setup in the previous episode. A little bit has changed. I have in both of them. Let me get my jetpack on. Both of them I have a energetic infuser, and I'm going to use basically the Tinker's tools, and when they are depowered it goes into here. When that's powered up it goes back into the autonomous activator. So just need to add power to that. This setup I showed in a previous episode. Cows go on this embarking trap and this age detector. If it's full grown cow, or pig in this case, goes down there, gets killed. If it's a baby, it goes back this way. The cart, there's only 1 cart in the system, will go into this vacuum hopper, and anything that's not a cart would be piped out of here into the storage system outside, and the cart itself will just go back here. And this is just a timer set up, and if I turn this off, I don't feel like converting it because no one's ever going to see this anyway. If I turn it off, it will deposit the cart dispenser will dispense the mine cart, and it will continue to go around. I had to use this many booster rails in case something gets over the cart. So there's really no way to stop the cart once it gets going, I guess. Maybe it's actually really hard to do with this setup. Anyway, so if it's a baby, the powering check goes out. The reason I have 2 of these here, in case an animal bumps the cart, it will go back around, and so the system will actually work both ways. But this is like the main way I want, because they get in here and then instantly over there. So yeah, but put some carrots in here, and then Let me get this breeding already started. Well, for the rest of the episode, see you in a sec. Okay, we're back, and for the rest of the episode, I actually want to do some RotaryCraft. And basically, I'm not exactly sure how all this works. Now, if we look at engines, and let's just do wind turbine, generates rotational powered. So basically, I haven't looked that much into it, but I think we actually need RotaryCraft power. I'm gonna double check that right now. We're gonna have to go back to the laboratory. What is this? Oh wow, expanded the path a little bit. Yeah. And by the way, I expanded the path just a tad here. I have a good idea what the. Let's actually get on this tree so it's not so shaky. Can't really see that. So over here, I haven't expanded it this way, but I am going to expand the path going this way, over there, and then this path can go over here, and then kind of go over here, and these paths are going to connect. If we look, they're actually going to connect over here. Then continue this path. Actually, we're probably going to connect right about here-ish, or probably like over there. And I'm going to connect this up to kind of path leading, probably also to this village. I'll probably spruce up that village. I'm not sure yet. Oh, I haven't looked on the path. Let me get a close look on this. That looks pretty cool. I'll show you what I use in a sec. But however, leave the path to the first home, and then eventually all the way up to the tree project. That's going to be long term. Also, still going to have that tunnel that's going to lead. It's not going to lead to here, but however, it's going to go to the tree project, and it's going to go over to the spaceship. I'm not sure how I'm going to connect that up yet. But however, this path right here is also, so it's going to go over here and then here, and I think it's going to go this way and then this way, and it's probably going to build up here too. So there might be some outlines over here, and then probably up here too, and this is going to go out to that village, and maybe the spaceship, I'm not sure, but at least to that village. And my project that I'm doing over here with the sandstone, which is going to be later. Oh no, it's night. Let's sleep before all the bad guys come and disturb us. So yeah, what was I doing? Oh, I needed to get some power actually. Let's go to energy. Let's get this off. I'm so lucky I put those there. So I'm not I'll get the one downstairs. Anyway, so I'm glad I put those there. And I do have some plans for what I'm going to do with this. The reason I'm adding the paths is so I can get an idea of where I want to put stuff, like the church or say some houses or some shops. Oh, right here. Okay. So while I'm here, I might as well I might as well do some. I actually don't know what I need, so let's not get anything. Yeah, so I just want to fool around with RotaryCraft. It's going to be kind of the next mod I really get into in this mod pack. I probably won't really get into developing a base or anything for a while. So this requires power. You know what I should have brought? Okay, let's just see if this works. That is not receiving power. Let's get a cable. Let's just see if this works. Oh, almost forgot. So this is dark oak, dried dirt, red sand, and pozzo. Pozzo I can easily get in Minechem from decomposing obsidian. Dark oak is a tree, easy to get. Dried dirt, just smelt up some dirt, and dirt I think I can get the same way. Red sand does not have a recipe. I do have a solution for that. I'll get into later. Since it is limited, I might end up using the custom NPC and trade like sand and like red dye for red sand or something like that. Seems like a fair trade. And I have ducks. The other power ducts are, I guess I use these. Probably not going to work anyway. Probably going to have to build a wind turbine and try to get that set up. I don't know. By the way, I will be building a church, and this will unfortunately have to move. But that would be good. Well, once I move the church, I'll move that, put the cross inside the church, and it's going to be a small church. And then, as this expands, I'm going to build a bigger church eventually. Oh, I got these. I just micro block up some logs, and that's what I use for the steps here. Pretty easy way to do it. Let's see here. Now, do you want to connect anywhere? How about under? No. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. So RF energy does not compute with regular energy, and so basically that means is that we need to use their source of energy in order to get, well, anywhere. So what we need is we need these engines, and that means we need to start really from the beginning. Like I said, I don't know anything from RotaryCraft, but I figure we can learn on camera together, and it'll be something to something for this later half of the episode instead of me talking about God and stuff like that. So let's look this up. Spell it RotaryCraft. So we need, what do we need? This is what we're after, by the way. We're after the bedrock breaker. However, we need this tungsten ingot. This can only be done by iron with the extractor, which is why we need to get power for the extractor, basically. I've already made the extractor over there. Wow, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things to this. So there's the engines. There's a lot of engines here. Hold on, I'll be right back. I will get some of these engines made, and then we'll figure out how they work together. Okay, so I think I got this figured out. I made this gasoline engine, but in order to run it, I need ethanol. In order to get ethanol, I need to make this fermenter. What am I missing? I got the tin. Shouldn't be missing anything. Let's just put it in there. It makes a weird noise. I really like the design in that. Anyway, so the fermenter needs heat. To run. What does it say about overheating the fermenter? Let's see, I think that was in production. Fermenter. Oh, this needs power too. And I'll tell you, RotaryCraft is something else. Just put that back there. Anyway, so I'll just kind of explain the basics. Need sand, coal, and gunpowder, which I'm definitely not short of, and then iron in here to create the HSLA steel ingot. You can actually, even though it says in here that you can create it using minechem, you actually can. It's a different steel. Then, as I was saying, the extractor needs power and torque. It needs, let's see, processing extractor. In order to run it fully, I need 512 Nm of torque at 8,192 rad per second. Now, if you look at the engines, the first two engines, only create like 4 torque. So that's kinda The steam engine creates 32. The gasoline engine creates 512. I thought I was just gonna skip there. And it creates a ton of power. Unfortunately, I cannot, because in order, this uses ethanol crystals, and ethanol crystals right here, and they can only be from the sludge stuff, and you need yeast, and actually, this doesn't have to be a poppy. It can be, I think, any form of vegetation. Leaves probably would work the best. But in order to yeast, you also need the fermenter, and sugar and dirt's no problem. However, the fermenter, which I didn't realize it needs power, the torque, 1000 torque, and 32 rads per second. So I had to figure out, probably have to go to the steam engine. Let's just take a look. The steam engine, if a source of heat is below and water piped in, slightly stronger than the previous engines. It only creates 32 torque though, and that's a problem because, as I was saying, the fermenter, okay, hold on. Yeah, it requires a minimum power of 1000 according to this, but for some reason there are like two different fermenters, and I created the second tier one by mistake. It doesn't really look like it, because this one says, and then 32 rads per second here. Okay, it's the same. Okay, I was just looking. So the minimum power. So how? So it looks like what I'm gonna have to figure out is a way to store torque. Because this actually requires more torque than, because in order to get this power you actually need more torque than it actually gives out at one time. So these are the engines. I'll look at these more in depth. Yeah, this RotaryCraft I knew was going to be kind of difficult. I do plan on creating a base for the RotaryCraft. I actually got an idea I'm going to keep hidden for quite a while where I'm going to put that. I just wanted to get started. There has to be a way to store torque somehow. Heater. We'll probably have to look on this online to see what you have to do. But so let me just put this stuff back. I created some stuff I needed. And at least we got these two items working. The blast furnace and the work table. I wonder, oh yeah, the blast furnace is needed to create the bedrock, but we need to get this at a higher heat in order to do that. So that's actually why I wanted to get into RotaryCraft. I'm not gonna, well, I do want to get these bedrockium, but these are actually got to the extra utilities bedrock, which is easier to get. It's still quite expensive. It's 8 triple caressed cobblestone. Each one of those is 720 cobblestone, which that's no problem to get in this mod pack, in the diamond block. But that just gets you one, and you need 6. So I do want that. Let's take a look at bedrock. Yeah, so this can only be gotten with bedrock dust, H&R steel, and it needs to be heated to 1,000 Celsius. Yeah. But the reason I wanted it is actually for the farm. I wanted to use this bedrock hole because what I was planning on, because there's no powered weapons for the hull, unfortunately, and I needed it to run maybe, like, some of these don't even work. Like the electric hull does not work, and it's an Ender IO. It's pretty sure I already made it, but it's this farming station right here. If you look, depending on what you're farming, either a hoe or an axe, and for what I'm going to be farming at the spaceship fragments, the automatic food, I'm going to be farming, well, food, so I don't need an axe, I need a hoe, and the only way to keep that going is with the bedrock one, because the bedrock one has infinite durability. Like, it doesn't take durability ever. And actually, I got some armor. Got a little bit more time left in the episode because of RotaryCraft being, well, it was harder. It wasn't harder than I suspected. I actually suspected it to be that hard. I just was hoping it wouldn't be. Have to get into that later. Okay, there's one thing I should mention. I did not. Oh, wow. I did not. I actually put mob graping false in this world, particularly for Endermen. But it's also the same for creepers. So these creepers will blow up and not blow up anything. They can still hurt me. I can still use TNT to blow up stuff. But they're in the water, so they're not going to blow up anything anyway. Let them blow up. Oh, I see. It didn't damage the ground, even though it's sand. But mob creeping false because it's actually because of Endermen. Really, creepers a little bit, but and gas to a lesser extent. But it was mainly due to, well, there's a bunch of skellies behind me. It was mainly due to Endermen, because I really don't want decent food. Back up. Wow, Half-Life. Does this work? Okay, it wasn't. I wasn't Half-Life. It was weird. Because Endermen steal the blocks of soils. I'm not sure if they can steal red sand, or I think they can steal pods. I'm pretty sure, and I'm not sure about the dry dirt or anything. But they'll be able to just destroy the landscape, and that's. I simply, like, Enderman, of course in like 1.9 they now actually drop the block they're holding, so it's a way early on before Silk Touch to get a grass block, I guess. So they do actually serve a purpose, but before 1.9, which we're in 1.7, so that doesn't matter, but before that, they didn't serve a purpose other than just strictly annoyance. Yeah, it's they're not my favorite mob, but that's kind of why I did that. Anyway, in the next episode, I'm going to work on the farming station using the bedrock holes. It's going to take it's going to be something way in the future, I guess. It's not going to be something I can do right away. I'm gonna build and then after that episode, during it, I'm gonna align everything. Next episode, get all the food stuff taken care of. Really? Chicken. Oh, this guy's iron armor and it's enchanted. Where you going? Oh, without spam clicking, like in 1.9, baby zombies are going to be far worse to deal with. I'm just saying, they're going to be entirely hard. What did I get? Aqua Affinity and Unbreaking 2. Let's change. No, I can't get that in the game. So, so as I was saying, so the next episode finish up that space fragment place, and the episode after that, I'm gonna be building a church and then also my house. Try to get 2 buildings done. There's a reason I'll be working on this place and not working on the giant tree. The bees and trees, the forestry mount, I do plan on getting into a little more. But however, I need to spruce up this place for something special coming at episode marker 25. There's a lighting glitch. Something special in episode 25. That's all I'm gonna say about it right now. But before then, I want to get the laboratory completely completed, which is almost there. I want to get this area not completely completed, but completed enough where it looks like a town, or it looks like a village, or it looks like people live here. And I'll be using the NPC1 and the tower in here to basically do some fun things. I'll get into the details. Well, I'm not going to get into details until episode 25, actually. I'm not going to reveal anything else. No hints. Yeah, no nothing. Anyway, let me kill the spider. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. See you guys in the next one. Bye.